All right, guys. Hey, it's Mike here, Drag Driver Pete. We are going to test this live stream setup, so I need some feedback. Cars sound like, are they too loud? Trying to figure out how to manage this from inside the tower. I've got one mic outside. I've got one mic inside with me. Because to try and work around the burnouts because of the placement of the microphone outside. So, guys, just make a comment as we come in here. All right, guys, we got Matt Donovan in the left lane, Garbage and Barf back up here, and Miss Sharon Bogardis here in the right lane. More orange cars together here in the lane. I think that's mandatory here at Mid-Michigan Motorplex. If they're orange, they're running together. $13,099 for Sharon at 105 miles an hour. I talked to the gentleman in the Camaro in the left lane there, that third gen. Said this is his first time to be down the racetrack. So made some passes yesterday, made 2 or 3 passes yesterday, making a pass today. Got a turbo LS in that car. Says built for just fun and on the street. Camaro in the right lane, pro charged setup. $11.56 in the right lane, $13,206 in the left lane, both over 100 miles an hour, 104 in the left, 124 in the right lane. Chris Legg back up here in the hard tire truck. Our official photographer out here, him and Jen. Oh, tires spinning hard. He just made some upgrades to the truck and was hoping for a little better time here. Turns the light red by 0.31, sadly. 1386 in the right lane, 1565 spinning hard in the left lane. Mara in the left lane again. This is her first trips down the drag strip. She's at 5 trips down the drag strip with this pass right here. SRT4 in the right lane. This is one of the only times you'll see one of these on a drag and drive. Both of them getting down there. I was asking Mara how long. I said, have you ever held the gas pedal down this long? And she said, oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not afraid of going fast. Runs 15-18 in the left lane, 85 miles an hour. 16-14 slows down just a little bit in the right lane. Ford Focus RS in the right lane. Out here, they're cruising along with searching Ford. This thing in the left lane. I haven't been by that car to see the story on it, so I'm going to do that out there this weekend. Oh, hey, pretty quick. 1368 in the left lane, 1440 in the right lane. Both of those cars on a hard tire. Again, for the folks on the live stream, please let me know how the audio is. I need to know if the volume outside when they're doing a burnout is too bad. And am I loud enough? Left lane hard tire, blow through turbo in the Fairmont wagon. And then one of my favorite cars of the event, the Lincoln Mark 8 there in the right lane. 1189 for the left lane. 1584 for the right lane at 90 miles an hour. Said he bought that car last year as something fun, wanted to drive around and have a good time. That's a perfect car for that. Here's some sibling rivalry. Aaron in the right lane. The sister to Jeff Kirchick in the left lane. Now, Jeff's car should be much quicker than hers, but yesterday she put a smackdown on him because he was spinning and she wasn't, and she got on out there and These guys are longtime drag and drive veterans. They've been doing this for several years, but have done several events each year since they found this community. Jeff said, not today, sis. I'm gone. Wow. Looks like he's on the brakes a little bit there. 626 in the 8th at 117. She runs out the back at 1235 at 116 miles an hour. So he got her by more than 2 seconds, quarter mile time there as well. 10:32 to the quarter mile for Jeff on the brakes. They're on Mustang action. Sarah Johnson. They fixed a broken CV axle in the pits yesterday, or last night actually, and pulled into the hotel at about 9 o'clock. So it was awesome. Got folks in here making comments. Thank you guys. I know we're interested in. Let me know what that sounds like now, guys. See if we can hear the burnouts now. Oh, yep. Got a little bit of dampness in the air down there at the big end, so we're going to hold up just a second here in the lanes. And just a reminder, when you get your pass you are happy with, if you're out there in the pits, go ahead and turn that in. That way we're not all in a line there at the end of the day. If you're not happy yet, please come back up and make some passes or stay ready, because that's what I like to see. And just so everybody knows, we do have a live stream going on Drag Drive Repeat on Facebook and YouTube right now. We're live on both of those channels if you guys want to jump over and watch some stuff. It's just a simple single camera deal that I set up here in the tower with me next to me. Figured that would be at least give somebody something to watch on a Saturday morning. While we've got just a few minutes here, definitely want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Thank you so much to Melling Performance for being our title sponsor here at Heads Up Hustle 2025. Thank you to AFCO Racing Suspension or Racing Products. They're out here with the truck. They've got the Eric Saffel is in the AFCO truck. You can see him set up here shortly. He was a lifesaver yesterday for Josh Burt. We pulled over on the side of the road, and we made this concoction of spring and coil and all this kind of stuff spring and coilover to go together to make it work. And we appreciate him working hard to do that. The video that's going to come out on Drag Drive Repeat is pretty interesting. We were actually using the jack of the trailer to compress the coil spring, and then, not recommended, but we did it, put about 100 zip ties on the coil spring to keep it tight or to keep it short so we could get the coil and spring all put together. Shock and spring all put together. Sorry about that. And so that was kind of fun. That'll be a good time. Glad that Josh is back out and making passes today. So you can find some of that ingenuity over there with Eric Saffel at the AFCO Racing Suspension or Racing Products trailer. Mountain Machine, another sponsor that we're going to go party with tonight. So if you're anywhere near Belleville, Michigan, we're going to have several hundred cars come out, spend some time in a parking lot with us, have some fun, tour the shop, work on some stuff if we need it. You know, by the time folks are done with about 300 street miles, that's where you end up with a situation where you're going to need to do some work, I promise. There's guys that were wishing they had a lift last night when they were in the hotel parking lot. And then McCollum Motorsports, Shane and Tim out here working hard, getting that car, trying to beat up on that 13.0 index class. That'll be that blue Mustang on the gold style wheels. But some great stories that have come from the weekend. Tony McDowell sadly is out, but had some good opportunities for tuning. Scott Kleppinger was his co-pilot. They cruised around yesterday. I did hear they went ahead and headed towards the house this morning, though. Just can't get the converter right. So they're headed home. We've got the green naturally aspirated Chevelle. Made the decision to go ahead and pull out. They've got some bottom end noise that they don't want to fight through as we go through the next 230 miles, 240 miles of drive today, or till we get back to Ubley tomorrow. Pull up some results here. And you can find all the information headsuphustle.com. Find out where you stand in your class currently. Brian and the team over there doing a great job keeping us all updated. They're real-time results. And again, we're at Mid-Michigan Motorplex here. I want to say thank you to the team here. This is one of my top 5 tracks of any that I've been to. And the grounds are gorgeous. The track is gorgeous. The team is nice. I'm sure they're gorgeous too, but the team is super nice. They focus on racers, and that's what it's about in this community anymore. Looks like we've got several racers that have turned their time slips in today. Warren Hurt currently leading the unlimited class. We're on a 576 today. Run it all the way out the back, 942. Yesterday turned in a 593 with a 7. Second in that class, Jeff Kirchick, who we've seen make 2 passes this morning, hadn't submitted one, so he's not happy with something yet. But yesterday turned in a 667. Our quickest car of the event's currently leading small tire, Mr. Jim Treadle out there in the gorgeous 67 Pontiac Firebird that he's owned for a very long time. This car is super cool. These guys are Pontiac fans, to say the least. I think Amy even told me one time they went on their honeymoon to a Pontiac Nationals event. Turned in a 501 yesterday. It turned in a 502 today. So very, very fast car. That's one of the quickest ones. Maybe we'll see some 4-second ETs tomorrow. Second place in small tire right now is Luke Staley in the 2010 Mustang. Turned in a 750 yesterday, 8th mile. So he'll be out here today. I think he's probably already made a pass today, maybe. I can't remember. Currently leading stick shift with only Friday results right now. Obviously, we haven't had everybody turn their time slips in from stick shift. Mr. Greg Black out here in the 67 Mustang, the blue one that you guys know I like so much. 614 yesterday turned in, and I can't remember what he ran a little bit earlier, but it wasn't quite there. 645 for second place with the 80 Camaro, Mr. Peter Sisler. Rex French in third place, turned in an 805 yesterday and a 706 today, so much quicker today than he was yesterday. Moving to NA Big Block, Jeremiah Kirby obviously leading us yesterday with a 530, but that car's out, so that'll move Mr. Paul Castiglione up there. Paulie C move him up to the number 1 spot, 1043. Quarter-mile ET for him, and then third place in that class, Chris Lewis, one of the best sounding cars here on the property, turned in an 1134 yesterday. That's the black Dodge Dart. I talked too much yesterday. Moving on to NA small block here, we've got Luke Van Allen in the 88 and 98 Camaro. That car's got a 5-inch exhaust that runs all the way out the back. It's absolutely insane. Sounds great. Turned in a 10:39 yesterday for leading the class. Hadn't seen a pass from him today yet, or haven't seen his time slip submitted, but he's made a couple passes here today. Next up, Mike Silver. That's the black 66 Chevy 2. He's currently in second place with a 1083. And then right behind him is Doug Wyatt in the 02 Mustang with a 1085. So we've got really a battle for second there. They're only separated currently by less than 2/10. It's really like less than 15 thousandths would separate those two guys. So today will be the determining factor. Andrew Highstand leading our daily driver class, and probably one of my favorite cars here on the property. That Fairmont is awesome. He was replacing intake gaskets just a second ago. All right, I hear cars running. Down back up here for another pass. In the garbage. That obviously came from the starting line right there where he spun just a little bit. 14.041 in the left lane for the Mustang. Sharon Bogardus here in the right lane, looking for 13.0 something. She ran a 13.06 earlier today. She may be on it right here. 13.096, 104 miles an hour. So if we are trimmed a little short today on racing, she's going to be in good shape. 17.46 in the left lane. So something going on there for the truck. Looking to go quicker. So he's using this as a test bed for some record-setting runs coming up in the next few weeks. Dale Matthews in the right lane. You guys will remember that car from last year. It had it was rusty or kind of crusty, some paint peel. They went in and painted the whole car. Looks absolutely great. Make sure you make your way by there to see them. Two, 19 to the 8th for him. 12:53 for Dale. If he's in that 13.0 index, he's going to need to slow that down just a little bit. Yeah, he's in 13.0 index, so he's going to need to slow it down to about a half a second there. Which, if anybody can do it, I believe in him. John Pranger in the right lane here, making a pass in a Nova. Short story long. I'm going to build one of these one day, very soon. It's a Valiant in the left lane. He's on the brakes too, trying to slow it down. 12:32. 13:078 for John. So that's he's pretty salty currently in second. Turned into 13:03 yesterday. So that 13:07 won't quite get him there, but it's going to keep everybody honest. We've got a four-way run here for the 13:0 index. We got 13:02, 13:03, 13:06, and 13:09 turned in yesterday. So it's really anybody's game in that race. We've got John Hacker, Brendan Darnell, and Sarah Johnson out there making passes. $13.41 for the Mustang in the right lane. About the same time they ran last time. $14.70 in the left lane with a 97 miles an hour. Pass. We've got Lincoln Mark 8 in the right lane. This car, again, bought last year, lowered it, just drives it all over town, has a ton of fun in it. And the Fairmont just finished this car. Blew a power steering hose in the parking lot last night. Brian Acton went out and took the one home with him, fixed it, and brought it to him here for track and Brian Fast Act Racing. 14:45 in the left lane, 16:25 in the right lane. Brian gave me a ride in the 70 Nova they race, and it was violence. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was the fastest, quickest, most brutal car I've ever been in, and now I need one. So he's a bad influence on me for sure. This will be a good side-by-side pass. DJ Matthews in the left lane leaves way better than he was leaving yesterday. So those guys side-by-side all the way down. 670s in the eighth, 1049 in the left lane, 1092 in the left lane. Aaron back up, filling the heat put on by John here just a few minutes ago. So AMC Hornet, she races this all the time in a 13:0 index series here in Michigan. So if the car looks familiar, that's why. Chris Lewis in the left lane, and what I'm saying is the best sounding car I've seen. Just something about Mopar stuff, man. They've got it figured out for sure, especially back then. Chris goes down quarter mile time, 11:49 for him, 13:12 for Sharon. So she's going to need to come back up and knock that down just a little bit if she's looking to stay in the lead to leave here. Because once we leave here, we're going to be heads up racing tomorrow at Ubley Dragway. So your average ETs from today's passes and yesterday's passes will set the ladder for tomorrow in one of the only formats of heads up racing you get in drag and drive. Any paper towels over there by chance? All right, well, we got some cars coming back up here, guys. So we'll call this, and then I'm gonna spin the camera around, and we'll talk to you guys about the event so far. Lane stick shift again made the switch from turbo 350 as he was doing a frame off restoration on this car. Boxed the frame, painted the car, made the switch to a stick shift. I mean, there's a long list of stuff that has been done to the car in the right lane. His buddy in the left lane, I asked him what he had done. He said, I've just been driving and enjoying this car. 70 to the 8th mile for Lachlan. 12:086 for him, and a 13:85 in the left lane for the Mustang. So that car's continually getting faster, at least by a mile an hour for sure. Dale Matthews back up here in the right lane. We talked about this car being painted. He's out here. His son, DJ, was with him last year as his co-pilot. This year, he's out here by himself running solo, man. He's also looking for a 13.0 pass here. I think he's currently in 3rd place in 13.0 index. Oh, no, he's like 6th place. Turned in a 13.89 yesterday. 12.83, he's a little off. So maybe he's just swinging for the fences today. Get him a PB while he's out here in this car. I see some cars that are kind of packed up and rolling that way. Got a pass they were happy with. Got them turned in. Refresh my page here, and we'll see. Yeah, it looks like we've got 7 cars that have turned their time slips in today, making the switch over and get ready to head towards Belleville. We've got about a 150-mile drive today. So if you're out here as a fan and spectator, you got to understand these guys are driving these race cars from track to track. We put some street miles on stuff yesterday in the heat, and then today the weather is much better for driving hot rods to and from all the locations we're going to. We've got 2 route stops today. We're going to be stopping at Mountain Machine tonight for a big racer party. And just a reminder, you racers and crew, keep your wristbands on because that's what's going to get you a free dinner there at Mountain Machine. We pull up where our other route stop is, because you can actually do this on headsuphustle.com by clicking on the routes. We're going to be stopping, at Melling Performance today. I'm excited about this stop. I didn't get to make it there last year, and so we're going to be cruising through there. They're going to have a tent and stuff set up and just welcoming all the racers. So we're going to stop at Melling Performance. Please make sure you say thank you to Melling Performance as our title sponsor here at Heads Up Hustle. Without sponsors, these events become very, very difficult to host. And then, of course, Mountain Machine for the car show tonight. I'm hearing that we've got just a little bit of weather delay. We'll see what happens. Again, we're kind of in the Bermuda Triangle of mid-Michigan. This could happen for 4 seconds, or it could happen for 4 minutes. Who knows? So do your dances right now, please. All right, for the folks that are here with me on the live stream, obviously you're looking out there, but I want to flip you around. Miss Tammy, you cool being on camera? All right, cool. Because we're going to spin this camera around so these folks can see us. We're going to be in the tower here for a minute. Can you see me? I just want to give a shout out to our boy, Tony McDowell. Look at this hat he gave me. Dude, how much do you got to love somebody giving you a Waffle House hat? I mean, that's just awesome. So big shout out to Tony. I did hear that he is headed home today, so couldn't get the converter to work right on his C10 truck. You guys know it's Turbo LS. They just put a 102 millimeter turbo on it at the Modern Muscle Car Factory for Scott Kleppinger. Scott Kleppinger's place. Scott was actually his co-pilot, so they were up hanging out and having a good time. But yesterday, man, they just struggled all day. So they think it's something in the converter, maybe a little bit of trans from there. So taking the truck back home before they hurt it, give it some time, get it fixed, all that kind of stuff. But I figured since we've got a second, I would flip this around instead of just stopping and talk about Heads Up Hustle. Man, we had a great time yesterday. Big shout out to the Furcheck family for giving me or buying me ice cream yesterday. I appreciate that. I had a strawberry sundae at Frosty Cone. That was awesome. John Paul and Thomas and I didn't make a stop at the first route stop, which was the USS Edson. We didn't make that stop because we were so far behind, so we just kept cruising. And luckily we did. Eric Saffel was behind us in the AFCO truck. We're driving along. We see Josh Burt broke down on the side of the road, has the car jacked up, and has lost a coilover. It actually broke a bolt and drove the coilover into the ground, bent the coilover. So, of course, having AFCO here at Heads Up Hustle 2025 has been amazing because literally Eric jumped into work, got a plan figured out, and then we worked our butts off, or they worked their butts off. I recorded it to get Josh back on the road in a safe manner instead of just doing some kind of, typical roadside repair. So that was a fun story. You've seen Josh make passes this morning already. Today we're hitting Melling Performance. That's going to be a really good one. That's obviously the title sponsor. Anytime you can go by your title sponsor's location, that's a huge win for them and you. And then Mountain Machine in Belleville, we're going to be there partying tonight. Big shout out to Mountain Machine and Chris Ryder, who's out here making passes and stuff. And then tomorrow's route stop, it's about a 100-mile drive from Belleville back to Ubley Dragway. So we'll be there Sunday. Our route stop for tomorrow is GM Performance and Racing Center. And again, you can find all this headsuphustle.com under route. John Paul did a heck of a job on schedule. He's got everything put in here. So the plan today, obviously track went hot as close to 9 as we could. It's now 10:40, so we're getting pretty close. Going to run, technically our plan was to run until noon. We'll see what this delay does here to that and see if we need more time. That's kind of the thing with a regional drag and drive. People make a few passes. They use these as a good test bed and to have some fun. So, we may not need to stay that late. Who knows? May not even be able to stay that late. I don't know. And then tomorrow, gates open for racers at Ubley Dragway at 10 a.m. Noon is the driver's meeting, and then 12:30 we're hot for a test pass if you want it. And then at 1:30 we're going to do opening ceremonies, which is the prayer, national anthem, and then right into the elimination. So there's, again, this is, I feel like, is one of the best ways to get to a heads up shootout in a drag and drive format, right? So day 1 and day 2 are set up for your average. So what you're going to end up gathering, I guess, basically what you're going to do is you're going to use your day 1 and day 2 passes to set an average for your weekend, and then that will stack the ladder like a traditional drag race on Saturday or on Sunday, back at Ubley. So once we get back to there, we'll see with all the time slips turned in and everything like that, where people will stand. Trying to see if there's any other notes here I need to be going over. I just don't want to cancel the live stream. We've got some folks watching, some people making comments, and anytime I can give you some drag racing live, we need to be doing that. So well, all right. Some stories that we had yesterday, man. It was it was awesome to help Josh on the side of the road and fix that car and get him back rolling. That was a good time yesterday to be able to do that. And then so many people are working on cars, thrashing. Andrew Highstand was out here earlier putting intake gaskets on his car. Blew one of those out yesterday. The green Chevelle was fixing rocker arms this morning. They broke another one about 1.5 miles from the hotel. So they are sadly out. They were running aluminum rocker arms. That car had a 665 cubic inch big block in it. They're going to an 815 inch engine, hopefully for drag week here in the next couple weeks. So that's pretty wild to think there's another 150 cubic inches they're going to put in that car. And it was running low fives. I think it turned to 5.0 in yesterday, something like that, 5.07 or 5.03. So nearly the quickest car on the property, and it's naturally aspirated. And then we've got Warren Hurt out here in the other Chevelle, the silver Chevelle. It's got twin turbos that are actually in front of the rear tires. That car is awesome. 604 cubic inches in that car with twin 83 millimeter turbos on it. Man, another car built out of the Modern Muscle Car Factory of Scott Kleppinger. That car went real fast, 530 yesterday, just on basically a shakedown run. And he got out of the car yesterday, or day 0 for tech, and was wearing a Pump Gas Drags 2008 shirt. So if you guys haven't seen those photos, man, jump over there. It's pretty wild to think, that seems like it was forever ago, but it's only 17 years ago for 2008. So trying to think of any other stories that came about. Brian Acton came down. I talked about that a minute ago. Gave me a ride in the Nova. That thing is absolutely insane. He said we made, I don't know, 1,300 horsepower on the rip. It's pretty wild. That video should be out now on the Drag Driver Pete YouTube and Facebook both. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That was pretty wild. And then I think who all was in the parking lot. Aaron and his boys in the orange Fairmont struggled all day yesterday. Changed out or rewired their fan. Apparently, it had somehow gotten switched to. It was a blower fan, a pusher fan, as it was wired in. So they were having struggles overheating. They got that fixed, and then pulled in the parking lot last night at the hotel and actually blew the power steering line right off right there in the parking lot. So that was pretty crazy to see them do that. And then Brian Acton took it home. He only lived about 30 minutes from the hotel last night. Took it home, fixed it, brought it back to them here at the track this morning. So pretty awesome. That's an LS swap in that Fairmont. Trying to think who all was working on stuff last night at the hotel. Lachlan Kane in the black G-body that's been redone. He made a post. They had put 3 alternators on that car yesterday as they were driving along. So, lots of struggles on the road for those guys. 3 alternators is pretty tough. That's a tough swing to have to fight with stuff that much. Tim and Shane McCollum helped put an alternator in the gray New Edge Mustang that's running around with them. They did that yesterday. I think there were more stories, but I didn't write notes last night. I was trying to just kind of hang out in the parking lot and have fun. If it is R wording out there, it's not doing it very much, but I probably should go get my other microphone that's outside and see if I can get it knocked out. No, y'all, my wife is watching this morning. Dang. Hi, honey. Hope she's having a good day. She sent me a picture the other day, yesterday or day before. I think it was Thursday. She said, "What about a couch, a chair?" Obviously, if you travel as much as I do, you gotta do what the wife wants sometimes, right? And so we've ended up with a new couch and chair at the house, and I can't wait. We're back to leather at the house, and that's it sleeps much better than a cloth couch. So as much as I end up on that thing, that's important. So, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off, and then whenever we get back to racing, I'll turn it back on. So, guys, thanks for watching. I want to say thanks to our sponsors for making all of this possible. I want to say thanks to John Paul Franks for making this announcing gig possible. I appreciate him and all he's done for me to do this, and I hope we can help grow Heads Up Hustle into the future. So thank you so much to our sponsors, Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Deechworks. Oh, I don't have the slides pulled up. Deechworks, J-Wire Solutions, who I was hoping I'd get to hang out with this weekend, but hey, that's okay, Jay. I still love you, buddy. Howard's Cams, who's not up this way, but boy, I missed getting to hang out with Luke B when they were on Six Summer, but Eric got to hang out with him, so appreciate that. And then Car Change 3D, who I am hanging out with. I'll be doing a video from his place on Monday morning. So I'm kind of excited about going and seeing that in person. If you guys don't already know, Car Change 3D is awesome. He does a lot of the 3D printing for dashes and mounts for like your Terminator X and all that kind of stuff. Performer Built Transmissions, who we're going to get to see on Drag Week because he's about 15 minutes from Numidia. So we're going to hang out there. We're going to actually do some specialty decals right from his place, giving out for the folks that are coming from there. So, all right, guys, appreciate it. We'll see you when racing resumes.